So here we have the Coinbase logo, and we're going to jump right into the stock. As you can see in the last month, it's been sitting pretty nicely. I mean, from the July lows of $220 to today, we've seen a rough 20% increase. And if you go to the highs that we had recently, that's a 30% increase just from the news of what happened this quarter as far as revenue and numbers go. So let's talk about that first, then we'll talk about valuations, and then we'll talk about the necessary steps that Coinbase needs to take in order to become a 10x stock from today's levels. When you look at their increase in revenue, Coinbase reported a 12-fold increase in revenue from a year earlier to 2.23 billion US dollars. Now, the only company that was really close to that was the online lender Upstart Holdings, and their revenue climbed 11-fold from a year ago as well. If you're interested in fintech, I have a video on them as well. You can go check out after this video is done. But Coinbase's net profit for this quarter was $1.6 billion, up nearly 4,900% from a year earlier. So as you can see, the numbers don't lie, and that is why this stock has increased so much so fast. And so where is Coinbase getting all of this money from? Well, it's from their fees, and that is what we see on the screen now. These are the flat fees charged by Coinbase are as follows. And the interesting thing about Coinbase is they don't just charge fees when you buy a cryptocurrency. Anytime you want to buy, sell, trade, you have to pay a fee, and the fee wildly depends on how much you're actually transacting on the platform. So as you can see, $10 or less, it's a 99-cent fee, or pretty much a whole 10% fee. Pretty crazy when you think about it like that. And then more than $10 or less than 25 is $1.49. More than 25 or less than or equal to 50 is $2. And then more than 50 or less than 200 is $2.99. And then they have some other fees as well, but these are the main ones that you usually deal with when it comes to Coinbase. Now, when you think about how much people actually transact cryptocurrencies, it's kind of a lot. I mean, it's not as much as cash, but of course, when you want to diversify your portfolio in the crypto markets, you're going to have to either convert your current currency or you're going to have to buy, and both of which have fees involved. And Coinbase knows that a lot of savvy investors use their platform, and so they incentivize dollar cost averaging into your favorite currencies by offering periodic buy-ins into those currencies either daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly. And they do that because if you do it, daily or weekly versus monthly, you're more likely to buy smaller amounts of said currency, and that allows them to make a higher percentage of fees off of you. Now, nothing wrong with that, and they are right when you dollar cost average, it is better, but you do want to avoid fees. And so now that you know their fee structure, you might want to kind of change your strategy on the way you purchase your crypto. Regardless, let's talk about the actual stock price. Now, the current stock price is sitting around $250 to $260 per share at the time I'm making this video, and their fair value is around $265. So even though this says that they're around 3% undervalued, in fact, they're pretty much fairly valued for their revenues, at least for right now. If their revenues continue to increase quarter after quarter, then they will be extremely undervalued for their current price. Now, another thing I wanted to look at, this is again not a full analysis on Coinbase. If you guys want to see a full analysis, I'm more than happy to do so. I just want to make this quick update. But as you can see on the screen, these are all the sell orders from big hefty insiders of Coinbase stock. And a big one, as you can see down here, has been Brian Armstrong. Not to take away from Union Square Ventures LLC, but Brian Armstrong, the reason why I have to mention his name is not because he sold $300 million worth of stock back in April, but because he still holds 36 million shares, and those shares are worth $9.3 billion. So don't be alarmed if he ever sells more shares, because he owns so much of this stock already. And in the stock price, if it goes up, he might, be tempted to sell more shares. Regardless, it's just something to note and pay attention to, that there are a lot of insiders selling out of the stock. And obviously most of these bought when, prices were a lot cheaper. Now, of course, the monthly chart looks really nice for Coinbase, but let's look back on the year. Really, it IPO'd back here on April 14th of this year. So it hasn't even been a full year, but it IPO'd and it seemingly shot up, and everyone was super excited about this stock, and it went up and up and up. As you can see, $342 on the screen here, but it got as high as $429 on that same trading day. And ever since then, it's just been cratering down. Now, if you don't own this stock, don't worry, because again, we haven't even seen new highs, even though we had such a great revenue beat. And if you're wondering, well, does Coinbase have any competitors? I know there's some exchanges out there, but really, what are their competitors? Here's a list of their competitors: Uphold, Binance, Local Bitcoins, NiceHash, KuCoin, Kraken, Bittrex, CEXIO, HitBTC, Polynex, Bitfinex. So they have a hefty number of competitors out there. And the real big competitor is probably Binance, because they do happen to have an exchange in the US called Binance.us. They also serve a lot of other countries worldwide. And as you can see here, they show that they're better at support, but I haven't had to contact Coinbase support before. But Binance support, I wouldn't say is that great either. So if it's better at support, I mean, that means Coinbase has no support, I would say. But next, I wanted to discuss what are the key features, what are the elements that Coinbase could bring to absolutely revolutionize this space and beat out their competitors and 10x their stock. So Coinbase could do something like crypto lending. Now, crypto lending doesn't exist on Coinbase yet, but I'm sure they're working to make this happen. This is just a chart of how crypto lending works, but the next thing that they could do that I think would really help Coinbase out is to have a crypto credit card, kind of like you see on the screen from Swipe here, where you can literally use Coinbase like a bank, which you can't really do right now. You can't set up direct deposit. You can't use a credit card. They don't have any other products like that. And really, if they were able to add all these features at the same time as adding loans on top of that, well, then you really wouldn't need a lot of banking systems out there. And that's probably one of their last things on their list. The first thing that they're probably going to focus on, and we'll see if this actually comes to fruition, is NFTs. Now, if you're not familiar what NFTs are, I actually have a whole video on what NFTs are, breaking them down in layman's terms and kind of what it actually might become in the future. If you want to go check that video out after this video, I'll make sure to leave it down in the comment section below. And lastly, when we're talking about the stock, where do I see the stock going? Like I said, I think the stock has a lot of room to grow. I mean, it's sitting at a $50 billion market cap, and when you think about just the sheer size of the overall crypto space, it's sitting at around $1.5 to $2 trillion market cap, and Coinbase, being one of the most trusted exchanges, definitely has the potential to grow in this space as crypto gets bigger and bigger as well. Now, personally, I like to invest in cryptocurrencies themselves versus any singular exchange, but Coinbase does have a lot of future potential if they play their cards right. And of course, they do have the advantage of the space being so young. So whoever wins the crypto exchange game, which Binance is kind of winning right now, will likely dominate in the years to come. And I think that Coinbase has a huge potential of becoming that dominant player. Again, it's going to take some time to prove that, but it will be exciting to see what happens. So lastly, if you made it all the way through this video, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Peace out.